I stand on the sacrifices of a million women before me, thinking, what can I do to make this mountain taller? So women before me can see farther. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm sure you're probably wondering why the whole face beat and everything. Today is International Women's Day and I just decided to come and share a little bit of my journey transitioning from being an entrepreneur into the digital fashion tech space. So happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. And before I go straight into today's video, I will be sharing a really nice quote I found, and it goes like this: I stand on the sacrifices of a million women before me, thinking, what can I do to make this mountain taller? So women before me can see farther. And I would just like to wish every woman out there happy International Women's Day again. And you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you are everything you can ever imagine. So take time out to celebrate yourself. I know you're probably watching this after International Women's Day. I mean, you can always celebrate yourself anytime, and you deserve it. Alright, so straight on to the business of today. The theme for the International Women's Day is digital for all. That's innovation and technology for gender equality. So I'll basically be sharing my journey transitioning from being an entrepreneur into the digital fashion space. I probably spoken about this before. I used to be an entrepreneur, but I recently transitioned into the digital space. I work in the fashion industry and I transitioned into the digital fashion. A little backstory about my journey as an entrepreneur. After secondary school, where like everybody is trying to learn one or two skills and all of that, so I decided to learn makeup. As you can see, I went to a makeup school, I got certified, and it was just being like a brushing up and learning process all through. And after that, I learned how to make beads, and I've always been a fan of DIYs and creating crafts, arts and crafts and all of that. So I decided to start up a brand that makes DIY Ankara bags, Ankara shoes. Some people that know me from way back know I used to like make a lot of, I was the lover of Ankara fashion. I used to make Ankara shoes, Ankara tote bags and all of that. But life sort of happened, and then life as an entrepreneur is hard. I mean, it looks easy on the outside, but deep down there are a lot of things behind being an entrepreneur, behind the scenes being an entrepreneur. I mean, I also started a food brand in my 200 level in uni. I used to make spaghetti, stir-fry spaghetti, and I used to make burgers and all of that. But as a very curious-minded person, my mind is always flying everywhere, trying to like do something extraordinary. What can I do that somebody is not doing? I decided to just, I don't know, will I say pause on everything. Plus, starting up a business takes a lot. You have to have you have to plan properly, you have to have the right funding, you have to be good with your finances. See, that one is very important. Finances, you have to be able to track your finances. You have to have like a separate account for your business and not eat from it's from the money you're using to do business. So a lot of things I put into consideration, and I'm like, girl. And I sort of like had to like pause on that part of my life and then find something more interesting. So I've always been this social media person, and I decided to let's see how social media works. And I used to do like creative writing. So social media creative writing, I mean, like if you're a creative, you can sort of like navigate your way into the social media space. During COVID-19, I decided to pick up social media creative writing. I decided to brush up my creative writing skills. So I started I got my first job. I was in charge of writing for their blog. So there I was able to like research more, improved on my creative writing. I also got writing gigs during the whole pandemic. and that really, I don't know, let's say it broadened my mind and it opened my mind to I think I found my new love. So I went into that, and then that went by, workplace issue, workplace palaver. I left that space, and then social media improved, Instagram and the whole algorithm and everything. So I decided to now focus on myself as a brand, and then because I was into fashion, I had my blog that I was writing about. I was writing fashion articles, I was writing food articles, I was writing travel articles. So I was just there improving my own personal brand, then working on myself till then building my CV till I was able to apply for another job. Then I found out that there was a company hiring a digital and I think digital and community manager, something of that sort. So I was like, this title is sounding, interesting, and I was like, okay. And then I started to research what a community manager does, and as the company was like a creative fashion-based company, I was like, oh, works for me, because I was into the fashion space, and then I could, balance the two, and then it was hard for me to it's something that I could do. So, baby girl applied, got the job, and then, it's been a learning process. I've been learning. I found a new love in sustainable fashion, and I've been really enjoying the digital space, and we also be applying a lot of things that I've been learning to my personal brand. I was able to discover about different apps to help with social media management. I was able to find out more about the fashion space. The fashion space is not just the fashion space of wearing clothes. I was also able to explore the digital fashion space. Having to look at fashion from the tech perspective, and there were a lot of things to discover in the fashion space, and then I was like, found a place for me. So yeah, I've just been learning and unlearning, and just been enjoying this whole creative journey, immersing myself in the whole process, and enjoying this transition. I was able to discover that I could actually take up a role in community management. Community management and social media management, they're sort of like related, because you're managing like a whole community. You're speaking to a digital space, you are doing storytelling, you're doing creative writing, you're just exploring the whole creative process, and it's been really interesting so far, I must say. So if I were to give an advice to someone who is still trying to find a balance in whether sticking to being an entrepreneur or just finding something new, I would say, just find what works for you. Just, if being an entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur used to be like, oh, if you're not doing a business, if you're not doing a maybe like a vocational skill or something, you're not doing anything. No pressure, take it easy on yourself. This life is not hard. If entrepreneurial works for you, being an entrepreneur, starting up a business works for you, plan properly, and also pray about it, and just talk to God. Is this what you want for me? Is this your plan for me? And do your research, check out the market, check out the area where you are. Is this business something that I can thrive? Who are my competitors? Just a lot of things to consider in the whole entrepreneurial space, and if that's what works for you, go ahead with it. And then if is the corporate world that works for you, if it's the tech space that works for you, make your research. Like I said, make your research, learn more about the space, look at, is this something I can do long term? Don't just look at it, oh, it's something, because I think what happened to me with the whole entrepreneurial journey was that I wasn't looking at it from a long-term point of view. I was just looking at something to just do at that point. But I would advise that you look at whatever you want to do from a long-term point of view. You can have a business on the side that you're doing it. Probably you're probably into creative writing like I am. I'm into creative writing, and I can also have my own fashion line on the side, and just balance the two at the same time. So just know what works for you, and do your thing, make that money, and everything will work out fine for you. So we've come to the end of today's video. I hope my transition story inspired somebody, and I hope you were able to learn one or two things from it, and just find your niche, find something you love doing, and just make something out of it, create something out of it, and who knows, you might just blow, you might just make it big in whatever industry you find yourself. So thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe too. And I'll be seeing you in my next video. Happy International Women's Day once again. Bye.